Hello everyone, kirby1up here. Let's see if this goes better than Shrek 2. Hello everyone. Going ahead and muting the stream now. And this time I should have the chat right next to me in order to see whatever is on your mind. Anyways, I see that Nick is here again. Nice to see you again. Tonight, considering how my earlier attempt tonight failed, figured I'd go with something a bit simpler. Toy Story 2. What is it with me and games based off sequels? Anyways, to start off with, going to start on the first level. We'll skip that quick scene. So, I have on hand going to be playing Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, as the official name of the game goes. Anyways, or as I jokingly want to call it, a Banjo-Kazooie platformer. So, to be more specific, apparently Woody got himself captured by a toy collector, and the main objective is to save him. How exactly? Well, apparently by collecting a bunch of pizza tokens. Game logic is perfect logic. Anyways, so to start off with, going to climb up into the attic and gonna go deal with the first boss in the game. Well, first mini boss anyways. Defeating 10 robots shouldn't be that hard. Anyways, yep. So I have a couple of attacks. First one, a little spinny attack. A charged laser, or just a normal laser if you don't charge it up. I can jump, have my wings pop out. Normally. And first Pizza Planet token. Gonna keep on going, because there's more to collect. So, for the basics for this game, if my memory serves me correct, no, Nick, it was not hard at all. Honestly speaking, I'd argue that a fair amount of bosses in this particular game were fairly easy. There might have been a few, but I don't know. Anyways, would I call this a fairly difficult game? To be honest, no. But that's also part of the reason why I figured I'd use it for a test stream. I mean, I could pop in something like, I guess, Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'd probably save that for another stream. Also, I don't think anyone would be too upset if I don't wind up doing a official stream on this game or playthrough or anything like that.
Hey Bob, over here.
So first off, I'm gonna climb on top of the stair rails, grab a battery, and head into the garage. Now for arguably the easiest race in the game. Hi Buzz, I challenge you to a race. We will race 3 laps around the car. If you beat me, I will give you a Pizza Planet token. Get ready to race. 3, 2, 1. And I'll just stand in front of you. Poor RC, he's trying really hard to win, but anyway, so other than that little pile of oil, I'm guessing, this is a fairly quick race. There's always at least one. There's always a race in each level. Admittedly, the races do get somewhat tiny bit tricky later in the game. I do remember that the last one is a bit of a pain if you mess up. However, this is also arguably the easiest level in this game, so no surprise that things wouldn't be that difficult. Anyways, gonna hop over here. Oh, thank you, Nick. Yes, I did put a bit of time into the Sonic speedrun series, which I will note, I do want to try and get the missing LEGO Dimension packs that I don't own. Only thing is, I don't, or I unfortunately, as a result of my speedrun series, I did drain myself a bit of LEGO Dimensions. Also, just the general price of them. However, if I'm able to, at some point, say, get my hands on the Powerpuff Girls or the Teen Titans Go packs whenever they release soon, I'll likely do some speedruns in their worlds. Unfortunately, it looks like they aren't actually going to get full levels. And I'm also not too sure how many more LEGO Dimension packs there's going to be released. And I do hate to admit this, but I did forget about the Goonies pack. Well, partially forget, but at some point I do plan on getting that one for sure because I did actually enjoy the Goonies movie itself, and it'd be nice to have a minifigure of Sloth. Plus, going through some caves with Sonic should be interesting. Anyways, heading up here, because there's Mr. Potato Head's ear. One of Zurg's little robot bots are here. Get another coin. Get Bo Peep's sheep. Head down to the basement. Can't reach that sheep yet. However, unlike the other rooms, there should be a bit more to find down here. For starters, we get our first power-up in the game. A shield. How does a couch fling a toy that far? That's actually a fairly good question. Maybe Buzz was cheaply made. I mean, that would explain why they keep specifying he's not a flying toy for some reason or another. I mean, apparently he was gliding in the first movie, but oh well. Though, now that I think about it, that might not actually be a very safe couch to sit on. I mean, good grief, it flung a plastic toy all the way to the other side of the room to retrieve a plastic Mr. Potato Head ear. Anyways, I just walked through a box. I should note, I'm playing the N64 version of this game. I do own the PC version of this game, which I'd call it the better version of this game, but bizarrely enough, there's actually a weird glitch that was added into it, where with newer computers, apparently it's not compatible because, of all things, it thinks there isn't enough saved data. Apparently this needed, just like a few megabytes, but no, 100 or so gigabytes. No, that's not enough. Oh well. Anyways, now to go talk to Ham.
That's the ticket. Here you go, Fuzzy boy.
And got his Pizza Planet token for this stage. And not 100% sure if I'll get all the tokens, admittedly enough. I might skip a couple just to speed things up in the later chunks. But you do need a certain amount in order to get to the end of the game, so I'll probably snag some of the more fun tokens. Otherwise, the basic premise for the tokens that you have to get is there's a race one, there's a boss one, there's a puzzle one, which is what the boxes were for. There's a collectathon, in this case Bo Peep's sheep, and then you have to collect 50 Pizza Planet or coins for Ham. Anyways, and that's the last Pizza Planet token.
Infinity and beyond.
And Buzz jumped into a roof, crashed down, and decided to just take the door. save right there. I would argue this is definitely a more sluggish game. I'll check whenever the stream catches up. Anyway, so... Darn it all, they butchered this song. Okay, so this one, I probably won't collect the collectathon gizmos in this one, but this is actually a fun one to try and snag. These army men are constantly hiding, or this one guy is just hiding in all of these mounds of dirt, and you have to stomp on the ground near them in order to fog him, or smoke him out apparently. He'll set off a signal flare once he's at a certain one. And there he is. Also, hello there, DJ Hammer. Welcome to the stream, where I am busy standing, well, running in front of a car just so I can cheap out on this race. Which, hilariously, you're supposed to get a power-up for this one. If you see these plastic boxes. Whee! I'll assume, as far as Sonic Heroes goes, was there anything you were doing specific, Nick, that would cause it to lag a bit? But I do know that you can spam the Sonic kick, if I remember correctly, quite a bit, and you can just sort of loop around the boss quite a bit, as fun as it is. I do know that some games will lag if enough is going at the same time. Like, for example, there was a bit of a frame glitch that had just happened, where apparently some of the special effects were showing up at the same time as some Zerg bots and me racing RC. And I am done with the RC races. Poor little car. Anyways, now I'm gonna go after, of all things, a Zerg kite. No joke, there is actually a kite that is a boss in this game. And of course, it's at the very top of this tree. Fair point. My games do tend to run better whenever there aren't as many tabs up. Now I will say, as far as like certain games go, from my experience with emulators, it does seem like certain emulators can play drastically differently. I mean, growing up, whenever I got my hands on Toy Story 2 for the PC, it was playing, well, faster than the normal game would, or should, I should say. Specifically because of the fact that I actually had it set to a lower resolution, so as a result, it was just sort of having little spaz attacks every so often. Defeat is your kite to get the token. It's a menacing evil kite. Anyways. Yep, mods would probably do it. Good for wonking or making the game wonky. You know, it just occurred to me, what if Eggman actually had a kite robot show up in a future Sonic game? How would you feel if that actually became a thing? No, 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 no. Oh, phew.
I'm Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger, Universe Protection Unit.
Actually, I forget, is there already a Mega Man robot called Kite Man already in the Mega Man game? Anyways, gonna have to climb up. Besides, that boss is almost down. Anyways. Maybe as a badnik or just having some egg pawn. Actually, I think there have been egg pawns with kites in the past. I think it was in Sonic Rush that there were. It was either Sonic Rush or Sonic Colors for the DS that there might have been some egg pawns with kites. I mean, it would be a bit. I mean, could be a bit more interesting if there was, I don't know, a kite function or something. Since they do seem to love paragliding quite a bit. Anyways. As meanwhile, apparently, some new Sonic Forces information will get revealed later this week. Any thoughts from you two on that? Okay. There. And now I'm gonna just sort of drop. Only if Shadow's confirmed as playable will we get a pre-order bonus. Anyway, so this puzzle isn't that difficult. You just have to inflate this rubber ducky and I got it. Let's see. I already got 42 coins. I'll go ahead and get all the tokens in this stage. The army trooper, or at least one of them, should be at the end of this little pathway. And then we'll finally get a quote-unquote normal boss. Pre-order bonuses can be a pain. Also, ledges that you don't respawn back at. If anything, I've been debating on whether or not to get Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite's Collector's Edition before the game releases or not, or at least pre-ordering anyways. Just because I don't know if I'll wind up wanting to use the DLC skins or not. That said, if there was, or if Sonic Forces was more or less forced to have pre-order bonuses or some sort of form of DLC, I'd rather it be for customizable or customizable characters, maybe. I don't know, maybe get some nostalgic Sonic character outfits in there or something like that. Anyways, I think I'll go talk to Ham and get his token. And I just remembered he's over at the tree. I will note, though, admittedly,
That's the ticket. Here you go, Buzzy Boy.
I will note one argument I will make, as DJ Hammer pointed out, on one hand, I'd rather not have to pay for Shadow to be in a, or to be playable as, or as a, I'd rather not buy him as a playable character. But at the same time, if they actually added, new stuff for Shadow, make him, a bit, different than Sonic, let's say he has access to Chaos Control and you can, spam it all you want in Sonic Forces, some Chaos Spears and so forth. That would be fun. And or whatnot. But arguably for pre-order DLC, it's a bit more frustrating because some DLC characters just don't seem to get as much treatment as they should. Anyways, for this boss, it's well, I think this, or what's happening, speaks for itself.
To infinity and beyond.
Anyways, yeah, Shadow's abilities weren't too bad. I can't believe it didn't occur to me that little toy plane actually did look like the tornado before. Anyways, now for one of the more interesting stages in Toy Story 2, the construction zone. It has a couple of interesting areas to explore. However, I'm gonna specifically climb to the top of this construction building. First gotta stomp down here, run over here, stand on this, or just fall on in, and it slowly lifts me up. And now just have to avoid these pistons. Or whatever they're supposed to be. Though I should be a bit concerned thinking about it. This construction equipment really should not be operating while there's no humans around. Then again, that also brings up the obvious question, who's operating them, but though maybe the more blunt question is, how on earth is Woody anywhere near here?
I come in peace.
Ah, the Rumble Pack, if I remember right, as I mentioned before, or I'm playing a N64 version of this game, so basically it will have, you know, Nintendo-y stuff. The Rumble Pack was this feature, or that apparently you could attach this Rumble device, or this Rumble Pack, which apparently was the save data cartridge for Nintendo games on the N64. But apparently, the Rumble Pack, its main gimmick was that you could, of all things, you can actually play games and you can feel vibrations. It's so bizarre. And, well, nowadays, everything rumbles, if it's a controller anyways. Now, to take a nice hot dip in some nails. Anyways, gonna keep heading higher up. Avoid the little UFOs. And I should be near the top. Anyways, and the next boss is right over here. And
Hey, bud.
help me, Slinky. I'm sinking in quicksand. Or quick cement. So yeah. Before continuing on, I'm gonna grab some wrenches that apparently magically float in the air. Yes, wrenches apparently float if you're a toy. Then again, for some reason, Buzz's laser's actually working. Or maybe he's blinding the enemy toys to death. Anyways,
Done good, Buzz.
got all the wrenches, and now for Pizza Planet token. But now I have to go get a new power-up item. And just gotta head over here. Give him his high. Oh yeah, I just remembered a little fun fact about this game. This was apparently a Traveler's Tale game. Or more specifically, back before Traveler's Tale was known for Lego games, so yeah, it's interesting to know what kind of games they used to make. Anyways, back to business. It just that's a fair point to make, Nick, but I just thought of something else. Why are all these toys at a construction site of all things? I mean, yeah, apparently Buzz is looking for Woody in the most bizarre locations, but why are all these enemy toys at a construction site, though? Anyway, so for this particular power-up, it's actually one of the more useful ones. Arguably, you can shoot little homing discs that will lock onto enemies. And the jackhammer boss. I'm just gonna wait here, load up on some more discs, and that should be enough.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Come in, Star Command.
I really, really don't want to ask why a jackhammer was destroyed by some plastic discs. Anyways,
To infinity
moving on.
and beyond.
Alright. Now for level 5, alleys and gullies. Amusingly enough, I'd kind of call this a half level because, well, for starters, one of the power-ups you need for this level to get a ton of the power-ups is locked behind plastic. So instead, I'm gonna go for one of the other puzzles in order to get through this area for now. But I'll probably return and I will admit I do have fond memories of this level's music. And hello, Slinky. We've moved on from wrenches to bones. Apparently, bones also fly.
You done good, Buzz.
To infinity and beyond.
Well, let's take a look at how long the stream's been going. 42 minutes. That's pretty good. I might have to do it at a later time, like, you know, it's almost midnight, right, for me, so. But otherwise, I'll see how that goes. If it starts messing up like last time, then something tells me I'll just have to do it on Twitch, for sure. Anyways.
I'm Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger, Universe Protection Unit.
So, this is supposed to be a game, you know, based off, you know, or, you know, toys coming to life, you know, and all that. Explain to me, what is this? I mean, you know, it looks like a little toy, yeah, but... Okay, now it's bigger. And it's getting bigger.
Greetings, Earthling.
And it's throwing balls of slime at me. Oh, good grief, it might actually be Slimer after all. That would actually explain why it's green. Either that or it's radiation. Some radioactive goo. Maybe it's the bouncy goo from Chemical Plant Zone. Who am I kidding? It's probably Slimer. Anyways, and now for the final bit of this level. I'm gonna try to do this without the green laser, but it wouldn't hurt if I used it in this scenario.
To infinity and beyond.
Autobot kirby1up. I think it's still that, but I might have switched it. I'll check later. Anyways, now we actually get to someplace from the movie. Yay! And by that, I mean Hal's Toy Barn. Yes, it looks fairly different from before. Anyways, so again, similar to Slime or Alleys and Gullies. Yeah, it's my old YouTube name. However, I might have updated it recently, so I'm not positive. Anyways, so this area will be a bit interesting. First off, have to bounce on this trampoline. And, oh look, Buzz Lightyear stuff. Anyways, moving on. Gotta get Mr. Potato Head's arm. And
Thanks to you, I'm a whole spud again.
now for, well, one of the fun abilities in this game. You get rocket boots. You know, maybe these are these are technically, or it would not surprise me if these are illegal modifications that are being applied to Buzz, because, and I'm pretty sure rocket boots are unsafe for kids. You know, I'm just assuming. Then again, you know, this, you know, little UFO alien toys like this with green laser beams of death. Well, who knows? I mean, I suppose it could be the Heartless. Yeah, probably not. Oh yeah, missiles. Granted, I could argue that these are little plastic rings, but then again, maybe not, because now for one of the quick puzzles, we have to destroy locks. That's right, metal locks with our discs. Our plastic discs are apparently able to break through locks. Also, I have to ask, why is there weird green goo in this office? Just why? Anyways, now I have to talk to the chicken. Apparently he's holding one of his own chicken children hostage in this over-elaborate, well, not too elaborate race course. So what I have to do is get over to the chicken up there and grab him. Now to head over to the chicken so that he'll give me a Pizza Planet token for doing yet another race. Which honestly is a bit confusing. Makes more sense if you get the chicken afterwards. Or I mean, get the chicken second and the Pizza Planet token first. Anyways, so doing this again. And a lot less time than before, but I I think I'll get it. Let's see. Go ahead and get some more tokens, because who doesn't like tokens? I could try to get the little chickens, but if I remember right, one of them can't be got until later in the game. So, no. Ah, this. Hover boots. But I can't get access to it yet because I have to get near the end of the game in order to get that. A bit of a shame. Anyways, got 30 tokens. Hopefully I can snag a few more. Defeat the dinosaur boss to get the pizza! Oh. I thought I was gonna get pizza. Oh well. So, little killer dinosaur. And it's not a Transformers Grimlock. I'm disappointed, to say the least. He's going to try and, you know, get me, but he's pretty slow. Hey, I'll just put him out of his misery. So yeah, ironically enough, he's not a complete pushover like the tin toy. However, he doesn't apparently take damage with all the time. Apparently he has a bit of temporary minor invincibility that he gets whenever he's hit, so best to just use charged shots on him. Also, I believe I'm getting, or once I'm done with this level, I'll be halfway through the game. So, yeah, doing pretty well. Anyways, so Nick, what's your, or aside from the obvious level pack, which would you have to say was your, or which would you say was the Lego deck? Yeah, Toy Story 2. It's... I don't know if I'd call it short. Again, keep in mind, I am skipping. Or I did skip a fair amount of the construction site and alleyways and gullies. Well, alleys and gullies anyways. I will say though, personally speaking, I do think that the later levels are a lot more notable. Anyway, so aside from the Sonic packs, or I mean the Sonic pack anyways, which would you say was your, or are your top 5 favorite LEGO Dimension packs? Killer hula hoops. Oh boy. And now to push this box. get attacked by some planes. Ignore the planes. Ignore the plane again. Get hit by a plane. Wait, it just occurred to me the box is alive. So, does that mean that Buzz's box has its own sentience? Does it acknowledge that it's nothing more but a spaceship box? Blast, 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 blast. Spin. Ah! Get me the coin. No! Come on. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Lego... Wait, what? Okay, running into him apparently just causes him to make chicken noises, apparently. Anyways. I haven't gotten any of the Fantastic Beasts packs, and I didn't see the movie, so don't really know what all winds up happening in that one. I will say that the Adventure Time figures were definitely pretty fun for Series 2. Knight Rider's a pretty decent guy. Definitely has one of the more fun battle arenas, I'd say, in LEGO Dimensions. The LEGO Batman movie... personally speaking... yeah. On one hand, I do like having LEGO Movie Batman in the game, but there's just something about the pack that just felt off. A bit frustrating, but anyways. So, now we are finally in the Buzz Lightyear space section. And the first thing we're gonna do is climb around. I suppose I'll just take the LGM for now. Gonna go in here and get the puzzle completed. Climb up. And preferably get enough tokens before running into Ham later on, because he's at a bit of an odd place in the game. And now I want to jump into the ball pit. I'll save you. I will say that I do personally enjoy, you know, Sonic's, you know, game breakiness or whatnot. But one thing I or one of the other figures that I do like. Oh yeah, I have to try and unlock Fern in the Adventure Time pack. Sadly, from what I've played, there is no way to unlock Shadow, which is unfortunate since he basically plays the same as Sonic. Anyways, so managed to get the puzzle done. Just get the Pizza Planet token out of the crane machine. Boy, the bumper cars can get annoying. I'll save what's behind those boxes for later. And now, for one of the more terrifying enemies in the game, this guy. Apparently, he deflects all the laser blasts that you shoot at him. And he will stop in place if you're firing. And if I forget if the green laser actually deals. Oh, no it doesn't. However, apparently he's not immune to spinning blades, so there's always that. And with the return of the green energy laser, should be easy to collect coins from these enemies. Anyway, so as I was saying before, one of my I'll wait for this. Hi, Buzz. If you can beat me to the end of the zipline course, I will give you a Pizza Planet token. Wait. Anyways, so as I was saying, apparently, or one of my personal favorite Lego Dimension themes that made it into the game would probably be Lego, or the Lego Ninjago stuff, just because I am a fan of the toys and so forth, and also the show and whatnot, but I will say though, the Spinjitzu ability is very fun to use when you get it charged up. Especially since you can basically just continuously defeat enemies and get more energy to spin longer. Anyways, as for what I'm currently trying to do, basically, this UFO apparently wants to race you, but the only way you'll be able to beat him, apparently, is by using these zip lines throughout this area. And unfortunately, you have to time your jumps just right, otherwise you'll miss the string. Hooray for early 3D model physics. Bleh. Come on. Should still be able to beat him. Darn it, he made it to the end. I'll skip the race since I got the LGM. Anyways. Yeah, unfortunately Sonic Spin Dash is once again nerfed, which I will admit, I really enjoyed having the classic Spin Dash again in Sonic Mania. It was so good. Just having the uncontrollable, speedy spinball back.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Come in, Star
Anyways, now to go into Blue Ball. And run through a hallway of Buzz Lightyear and Zurg toys apparently fighting with each other. Kinda surprised this didn't happen in the movie. Or at least to some full capacity anyways. Anyways. Oh, Evil Emperor. Or Zurg. I'm sure he won't show up in this game. Or maybe he will. Ow. Anyways. I will say though, it was a bit frustrating that on one hand, and you know, you do have Sonic being extremely fast, which is a positive, but at the same time, it is a bit unfortunate that some people did actually give a good argument that because of the fact that Sonic has extremely slippery controls in LEGO Dimensions, he doesn't really play well whenever you're trying to just, you know, play in close or closed off spaces. Anyways, return to LGMs to this
There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
thing. And now to go reveal what was behind those boxes earlier. And it's the Buzz Lightyear buggy boss. I guess this boss gotta go fast. Also, apparently he does have missiles incorporated in his toy. Also, how come he has his own little playpen? Anyways. Of course, thanks to the green laser, already managed to defeat him. And gonna exit the level finally.
And beyond!
trying to remember how many Pizza Plant tokens are needed for the final area. I believe it was about 40 or whatnot, so... And it's the ultimate UFO! And this was arguably a bit of a fun boss for me as a kid. Because this is basically a little toy dispenser. Or a big one. Admittedly enough, though, I am a bit sad that some of these enemy toys weren't actual toys, because it does seem like some of them would be fun to play with and so forth. Though maybe a bit hazardous to health. But you don't know. And time to release the last of these pods. And now that I've defeated all of them, it's time to take on the main one. And preferably not die. I will say though, this boss is pretty decent at tracking where you go. A bit more than the PC version, if I'm looking right.
To infinity and beyond.
But yeah, again, that was a pretty good one. The only issue that I have with that one is the fact that it's not that, or here's the thing, that Buzz Lightyear buggy fight, that's the only Buzz you fight. There was a second Buzz in the movie that did show up, but you never fight him or anything like that. Anyways, and now for the fun level of this game. It has a bit of a slow start, but once it gets going, it's really fun. Okay, so first off, you have to help Mr. Potato Head get his shoe. And I'm just checking down here. And gotta wait for the pillars to electrify. Ow! Or else that happens. I would say that this is one of the more frustrating areas that, or one of the more frustrating levels when it comes to hunting down Ham later once you've gotten 50 coins, but anyways, so the collectathon for this area is Little Toy Mouse. To be honest, I have no idea what was the deal. I do know that in the PC version, apparently you could actually use, or in the PC version, because it wasn't an N64, or it was able to utilize. Hold on. Just a sec while I alter my controller buttons. Anyways, but as I was saying, oh yeah. It seemed, or you do see clips from the movie get used in the PC and the PS2 version of the game, which I would say if you were interested in this game, then maybe go check it out on the PS3. It's not too pricey if I remember right, but there's probably other games out there as well, so. But otherwise, again, this was, as far as the whole Woody thing goes, he does show up at the tail end of this game. There is an in-game model of him. He's just not really used. Which is kinda ironic if you think about it, because Woody was the main focus of Toy Story 2, but he's not really showing up that often. Also, I suppose I'll mention Rex's use in this game is you go talk to him in case you need to figure out where the Pizza Planet tokens are. But thanks to childhood experience, I already know where to hunt. Oh yeah, and apparently we can get caught on fire. I don't have Spider-Man for the N64. Maybe at some point in the future I might try that out, but who knows. Though admittedly I do have Spider-Man 2 for the GameCube along with Ultimate Spider-Man for the GameCube. But surprisingly enough, though I have played a decent amount of Spider-Man games, I have not bothered with the N64 Spider-Man game. It's just never crossed my mind to play. I mean, a few times, yeah, but otherwise I haven't, played it. That would be good for a blind walkthrough. Anyways, so now just sort of here in this. Oh. There's Mama wind-up mouse. Apparently looking for her little children that are all over the place. Like right there. Anyways, just gotta adjust these little wires and anyways, I've gotten the Pizza Planet token, and now for the fun part of this level. You have an entire elevator shaft to navigate through. And it is very large. Not too large, but large enough. Anyways, I'll hop over here. Have to get one of the mice. What was the Dreamcast version like for Spider-Man? Come on, little mousey. Got it. Anyways, now to head to the top of this elevator.
Come in peace.
Hands are always good for Spider-Man games. I was always a bit interested in how the web cartridge system worked.
I'm Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger, Universe Protection Unit.
Also, I suppose one thing I will note for this particular area, or just the game in general, there are a lot better quality.
There seems to be no sign of
The
intelligent
tracks out there for this game that do sound a lot better than the N64 version.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Actually, I just remembered something. There was actually a Dreamcast version of this game, but from what I remember, the Dreamcast version apparently got terrible ratings. Apparently it was extremely glitchy or something like that. Maybe it was a sign of things to come for Sega. Anyway, so for this race, you have to slide down the bottom of this shaft within a certain amount of time. And you have to beat the Pizza Plant token. Gonna fly back up here just for a quick stop. Coins.
Greetings, Earthling.
Just need a few more.
There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Honestly, For me, that's a hard question as far as my favorite Spider-Man costume goes. Because honestly, there's a ton of good ones for different reasons. I know that as far as the symbiote designs go, Spider-Carnage is arguably one of my personal favorites. The Black Suit one is, of course, very classic, but the Spider-Carnage one was just interesting, and how it was just half Spider-Man, half Carnage. I know... Otherwise, there have been various Spider-Man... Let's see. There have been various Spider-Man, costumes with some slight tweaks. And now that I think about it, there's... Apparently for the new Spider-Man series that's being aired right now, they had this joke of Peter Parker just coming out with this new blue, mostly blue hoodie Spider-Man suit look. It honestly looked really good, and I'm kind of disappointed they didn't go with that one, because it just looked really nice. I mean, looked nice. I suppose it looked more fitting for someone like one of the Spider-Man clones or whatnot, but still, it was just a really nice one. Or a nice hoodie look, anyways. Anyways, let's
I'm
see.
Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger,
That's
Universe
where I want
Protection
to
Unit.
go. Nope, that's not where I actually wanted to go. Semi-classic, if I remember correctly.
I am Buzz Lightyear. I come in peace.
As far as the animated interpretations go, I do have a soft spot for the animated Spider-Man. The one with the 3D buildings. I forget if that was called the new animated Spider-Man. Yeah, it was called the... Oh, yeah. Ha, 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 ha. Defeat the Spider Gennaro boss to get a Pizza Planet token. Okay, anyways. One semi-threatening boss later.
To infinity and beyond.
And got all the tokens for that stage. Yeah, Spider-Man, the new animated series. If I remember right, there was actually another Spider-Man show, Spider-Man the MTV. Or I think that one was bizarre, ironically called the animated series, but I'm not too sure. I don't know. The one I'm talking about is the one where Venom made his debut in. And... oh yeah, Peter Parker was ripped in that show, if I remember correctly. And it was kind of hilarious. Though I do find it a bit amusing how, for all indications, that particular Spider-Man show, or at least the one I'm talking about, did actually have the return, or they did show a fair amount of different story arcs, and I think they actually adapted. Yeah, it's Yeah, it was definitely Spider-Man the Animated Series. Spider-Man the new animated series did have some interesting stuff, but what on earth was with that season finale? That was just depressing. Anyways, for Spider-Man the Animated Series, I find it a bit ironic how that one actually had a ton of Marvel characters show up. And a fair amount of Spider-Man's villains roster even showed up in that show. For all of the issues that people have with the Spider-Man, or the Ultimate Spider-Man series, the one thing I can't say was done poorly for that one would have to be the fact that they did actually go to the effort of putting a ton of Spider-Man stuff in it. For example, they actually did of all things, a kid-friendly adaptation of the Maximum Carnage story arc. And they even managed to fit in Agent Venom, Anti-Venom, and of all things, female Carnage, or Mary Jane Carnage. Now, that was the weird part for that, if I remember right, but otherwise it was fairly interesting how they went about for that one. Though, ironically enough, I'd argue they were also more or less having to make up for all of the lousy Spider-Man adaptations that or symbiote stories they had done with Ultimate Spider-Man. I mean, they did use the symbiote quite a bit. Oh, and maybe I should stop and just point out what's going on in this bathroom. I don't know what to say. This game has its odd moments. And of course, I didn't get the Pizza Planet token in this room. Anyways, just gonna leave the bathroom and... oh, the water drained. Well then, back to normal antics. I'll get your horseshoes. Bullseye. Anyways, gotta use the shield. Or not. Yeah, I did notice that Disney XD was showing Doctor Who episodes and so forth. Haven't really come up with a series to start on though, so I haven't really looked into it. I am interested though. Oh, I will say that much. Just haven't actually seen any of the Doctor Who episodes. Oops. I suppose I'll go in here just for a quick peek. You can break open the refrigerator But only thing I'd say is worth noting is Jessie's in here. You have to collect all of her critters to that. I mean, I guess I could... I mean, I am playing as Buzz, but I'd rather deal with the other puzzles. Also, yeah, I'll assume that the apartment should have, or the penthouse should have flooded. Or maybe that was chaos secretly. Apparently, I remember that in the PC version, I think they had shown some random clip of Woody with the Roundup gang, just sort of goofing around or whatnot. Apparently, for the N64 version, what it says instead, is apparently this train. Let me keep it there just until I figure out this puzzle. Anyways, the N64 version, I was just sort of glancing at the cutscenes, and apparently it mentions, or I think it mentioned, you know, Woody and the, you know, Woody and so forth, you know, saw Buzz or whatnot. Had some chit-chat, whatever. And then Prospector apparently locked Woody in a suitcase and Owl is apparently hauling him off. And what are we doing? Collecting Pizza Planet tokens! Clearly, Buzz has his priorities straight in this game. Alright, let's see. Okay, train, let's hopefully push you out of the... Okay, now that that's out of the way, now to push this box. I will say, Toy Story 2 was a pretty good movie, I'd say. And as far as I'm aware, it didn't really fall into as many sequel traps that normally happen. Anyways, let me destroy this cannon. Another token for us. Honestly speaking, I personally prefer Toy Story 2 over the third movie. I'm not sure if I'd say that it's 100% better than... Yep, a toy's pushing a box. Actually, now that I think about it, this brings up a ton of questions as to why Woody apparently couldn't push a couple of stuff off the container that he was stuck in Toy Story 1. And the cannon is busy being a pain. Also, I'm pretty sure there might have been a critter back in the puzzle room, but I am not gonna push that box all the way back there just to get it. Guess I'll destroy. You know what? Jessie can find you. Yeah, I'm sure she will. Anyways, time for a Western showdown. Ha 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 ha. Defeat the gunslinger boss to get a pizza.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command.
Sweet, I'll get a pizza if I beat this. So yeah, this guy's not that painful at all. Not really a Back to the Future Marty McFly scene or anything. I think I'll get some more coins for him and then leave the map. I will say it is, or this was, one of the more calm levels in this game. And, you know, I did enjoy the, you know, Western aesthetic a bit. Somewhat, anyways. But, I wouldn't call this a personal favorite of my levels. Grab that coin. And I'm not saving your critters, Jessie. Anyways, now just gonna hop down here.
Way to go, Buzz!
And exit the level.
Infinity and beyond.
Also, I have no idea what you wound up unlocking for the N64, but if you get all the Pizza Planet tokens, you get a clip from the end of the movie. But that's not too notable because we are about to finally face off against the evil Emperor Zurg. But before Buzz and gang can pursue Al, they are confronted by Zurg. I can barely hear the music on this boss. It was somewhat menacing, but this doesn't feel menacing at all. Anyways, what you have to do is basically charge at him. Come on. Anyway, so a quick summary, you more or less have to dodge the balls while hitting him with your wing blades. So while I'm busy doing that, let's see. I wouldn't say you have to get the PS4 version, but who knows? I mean, you could wait for the PC version. I mean, just imagine what kind of mods might get released. I mean, someone might mod in Shadow or something. And he's almost down. This was the biggest issue in the PC version of the game. The Zerg boss was glitched. He would always stay just out of range. And anyways, Zerg's defeated. Rah, 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 and so forth. But yeah, I will admit, I am curious to see what kind of mods will be made for Sonic Mania. Maybe there'll be an Amy mod. But anyways, we are now entering the second to last level of the game. There's only one more area outside, and then the final boss fight. Might as well go ahead and I will note for this particular level, this area is frustrating due to the fact that you have to get all the way to the different sides of the room if you fall down. And not sure if you can hear, but there is a little tyke person that's apparently stuck in this area, so have to go get him.
Greetings, Earthling.
Excuse me, bird. Birdie bird. Ham's over there. Go ahead and destroy that boss. And now to talk to one of Andy's toys, who for some reason is all the way out here at the airport. Anyways, apparently he wants you to bring him weights. Why weights? Yeah, it's never explained. He just wants some weights, apparently. Maybe he wants to flex his muscles. Though I'd argue, if I remember correctly, this is one of the trickier this is the trickiest of the collectathon races, purely for the reason being you have to go into the different rooms. And I did forget the route a bit. So I'm gonna try that again. One over here. I'll assume this is the only one in this room. Pretty sure there's one in here. And got that token. Also, I suppose it is worth noting that from here on, there will be a bunch of cowboy toys. So, if anything, they're probably Stinky Pete's little hinchgoons. Anyways, have to head back in this room.
I'm Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger, Universe Protection Unit.
Because there is one thing I need.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Come in, Star Command.
Come on. There. Go ahead and fold that down. And now to go talk to Mr. Potato Head.
Thanks to you, I'm a whole spud again.
And I now have access to the final ability that you or power up in this game, the hover boots. A bit of a nice effect that they have. Though their usage is a bit meh. Basically, you have to get to a certain platform, but once you reach a certain platform, oh, hello, oh Stinky Pete. I mean, the prospector boss. Time to get a pizza token. And you can't defeat him with lasers. Surprisingly enough. He's not too hard. Pretty easy to defeat. And he's already down. Also, I suppose it is worth noting that there is apparently a reason why he's not blowing up like the other boss. Most of the other bosses, anyways. Anyways, have to jump to this zip line because another tyke civilian is over here. And now to fall to our doom, I mean jump down luggage. I guess he really is immune to Space Ranger toys. I mean, I suppose he did hate them. Wait, but he gets blinded by photographs in the movie. Oh, forget it. Anyways, now for another fun platforming gimmick. Have to stomp on the luggage in order to get up higher. Excuse me. And almost got Ham's coins ready. And got the coins. Now to deal with the last of the tricky platforms. Well, okay, strike that. There is one last area of tricky platforms that I still have yet to do. Anyways, time to fall. I said time to fall. Just wait for some luggage. Ooh, luggage shipping to China. Bouncy.
Way to go, bud!
Let's see. As far as I'm aware, that should be nearly all of the tyke civilians. There should be 2 more in this room. Also, the puzzle token is in here. Only problem is you have to navigate through this. I mean, it's not, hard to figure out. It just takes time. Let's see. just a minute or two. I have to go use the bathroom. Well, back from my bathroom break. Yeah, decided to stretch a bit. I mean, after all, I've been playing Toy Story 2 for the last hour or two, I think. I will say, though, I am personally surprised at my progress. I have not attempted a, well, 2 setting, or at least I haven't attempted going at Toy Story 2 in one setting, so I'm surprised I lasted that long. Anyways. Have to wait for this to stop bouncing, otherwise. Yeah, I could say it's a speed run, but at the same time, I definitely don't plan on completing all of the Pizza Planet tokens, so if it wasn't for that, I would call it a 100% speed run, which I don't know if this entire stream's gonna be saved or not, admittedly, so who knows. It'd be nice if it's completely saved. But otherwise, okay, so as you can see, there is the tyke I need to snag. And there are air currents that blow you away. And then you have to go through the system again. I will note, though, just below there is another tyke. Come on. No, there! Bah. Anyways. I'm not 100% sure. I want to say that the PC version of this game was one of my first platformers that I ever played, so wound up learning quite a few things from it. As for my first Sonic game, I hate that tiny area so much. For my first Sonic game that I ever played,
You're mocking me, aren't you?
it was either at a person's house or would just sort of go visit or whatnot, and they had a copy of Sonic Advance 2, and they were constantly stuck on the final boss fight, so I tried to give it my shot and failed horribly as Sonic. I think I managed to defeat the first boss before, or losing. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure the very first time I played a Sonic game, it would have to be at this dentist of all places. The dentist, for some reason, they actually had a Sega Genesis arcade system. I'm assuming they actually had a literal Sega Genesis in there, and you could just basically flip through different games or whatnot. Among them, they had Aladdin for the Genesis, Home Alone 2, if I remember correctly, was one of them. Trying to remember if there was any other notable ones. Otherwise, the only other notable game that was there was Sonic 2. And of course, that was the most fun of the games that were there. I'm gonna see if I can sneak back over to that other pole when this fan stops. No! Anyway, so Super Mario World.
I am Buzz Lightyear. I come in peace.
That's ironically enough another game I have not particularly tried. I've only played a demo of it on Smash Brothers Brawl, and Smash Brothers Wii U. I have tried the others, as for the other games in this series, varies in some form or another, but Otherwise, Super Mario World is the only one I have not actually tried. I played Mario Maker, so I've played with the physics a bit, but otherwise, I have not particularly messed with it, and I am a bit disappointed in myself because it does look like a fun game. But then again, I just don't feel like buying it for some reason. There's just some games I just don't immediately feel justified in paying $9 for, even if I know that they're classics. I'm just picky. I mean, good grief, I'm still picky as far as getting this game for the PS3 or whatnot. I mean, I could, but I just don't really want to. Okay, made it. Yes! Finally got the hover boots. Okay. And now that I have the hover boots, I can go up here, grab the battery, and slowly grab up.
To infinity and beyond.
And done with that level. Personally, I want to say that I'm a bit better with classic Sonic, just because I grew up with it. Otherwise, I don't know. Not too sure as far as what to really say as far as my experience with the other more modern Sonic games. Anyways, before we move on, I'm gonna go back to... Gonna go back to alleys and gullies. Specifically because there's one thing I want to do here. And technically, that thing would be taking on the boss. And I also just want to show the nice little system that they had here anyways. Or more specifically, you have to actually go back to this one and use the grapple to get around. Otherwise, I'd argue that this is one of the semi-more difficult areas in this game. Just trying to navigate up here. And unlike the construction crane area, there is no elevator to get back up as far as I'm aware. So if you fall, you have to redo the whole thing. Well, okay, if you... There was a box that you can push off a trash can to get back to this segment, but... Otherwise, I suppose to quickly summarize what were some of the other things in this area, there was a little market corner where you could inflate balloons to get the puzzle Pizza Planet token, which was the only other Pizza Planet token, as far as I'm aware, that you could actually get before getting the grapple. There are some ducks that are all over the place. For them, you kind of need a bit of a variety of gear. You need the rocket boots, but you also need the grapple in order to get up here. Because otherwise there's just no way you're gonna get up here. Anyways.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Now to take this wire and... Now for the last bit of area. Anyway, so once you get up here, you actually can get to the very top of a building to defeat the clown. It had to be a clown. Surprisingly, I would not call him much of a threatening boss, despite the fact that and he's down. Pizza Planet token.
To infinity and beyond!
Anyways, let's see. I'll assume that there should be enough Pizza Planet tokens in order to make it to the end. So, now for the last area, Tarmac Trouble. And it is arguably the largest of the areas. Would honestly be really interesting to see this place get put into Gary's mod, honestly, just because of the size. It might would actually be a small map now, but it's otherwise a fairly large area for the Buzz model to go through. Favorite classic stages? Well, I'd say that the final level for Sonic Mania I do have a bit of a soft spot for, because I did enjoy it having the boss stage, the bonus stage elements snuck in. And for starters, as far as personal favorites go, there was Flying Battery Zone. Chemical Plant Zone was another one of them, or another stage that I don't mind returning in Sonic games. Let's see. Not too sure if there's any... Oh yeah, Oil Ocean Zone. I do know that a couple people don't seem to really care for that stage. I'm kind of biased for that one. Not as much as I am for Chemical Plant Zone, but I still enjoy the classic version. Not the Sonic 4 Episode 2 rip-off, though. I mean, it did have elements from that stage, but I just prefer the purple aesthetics for that stage. Sky Sanctuary. Honestly, I'd say the Sonic Generations version is a lot better than the original. I do enjoy the tone for that particular stage, but I wouldn't really call it much of a difficult stage considering... Oh yeah, another stage I do actually enjoy, the Death Egg. Definitely feels like a Death Star kind of stage. How it played. Let's see. Mushroom Hill is another classic one, but not exactly sure if I'd call it one of my personal favorite ones. Anyways, now for the first of the last race in the game. So basically, you know, the token's right over there, you know. Just hop. And you cannot jump. You have to navigate this entire dirt path without jumping. So, yeah, that's... See, I already jumped! Anyways. So yeah, a pretty interesting race, I'd argue. And a nice change of pace, but kind of makes me wonder why they didn't do more races like this one for a fair amount of the game, admittedly. The collectathons are nice, but you know, this one just actually feels like a good time trial race. Marble Garden is another nice one. I do have some good memories of it, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if I'd call it one of my top 10 favorite stages for that, or for the classic games. Also, this is the collectible of this stage. Bouncing suitcases. Anyways. So yeah. As far as this stage goes, the biggest gimmick that it has going for it is that you have to wait on the edge of this wing in order to get all over this stage. There are some stuff on the ground you have to get, but the majority of it is all mostly collected via plane wing. So just hop over there. And got a suitcase. And go ahead and jump off the side. And now just gotta get to the middle again. Otherwise, this is basically more or less one big square with a nice round area for or tarmac for the plane to fly around on. I will note, as far as personal favorite stages from some of the modern Sonic games, Casinopolis from
Greetings, third plane.
Sonic Heroes was a really, really fun one for me. Just all the lights were nice and flashy and so forth, so... Anyways... Also, time for the blacksmith. He has homing attacks that he can do that are relentless. There's of course the ledge, but also, no, you can't deflect them with your wings. You basically have to take the shots or just sort of jump around in the sky. Skyscraper Scamper is pretty decent for daytime stages go. I hated it for the Werehog. Just, I mean, I wouldn't 100%, hate it, but good grief! All the times that you wind up falling just for some of the little ledge areas, it's just painful. Let's see, 39 coins. Go ahead and hop on the plane again. I will say though, I do enjoy a ton of the Unleash stages, which admittedly a lot of people seem to say that nowadays, which I'm not sure if that was just more of a recent thing or not, but personally, I wound up just sort of enjoying it to begin with. Though I will say, it was a bit interesting because I did actually get the Wii version of the game to begin with. But then I wound up deciding to donate it to my library because they actually let you check out video games for free. Figured, why not donate it? Wasn't really playing it or whatnot. However, I did wind up buying my own copy of it again. But then, whenever I finally got a PS3, I decided to finally play the HD version. And though I'd say that the levels are more difficult, I'd argue that I did have a fair amount of fun with it. Otherwise, that said though, the Wii versions, or the reversion of some of the stages, weren't that bad, despite being made differently. I mean, honestly, I'd say the daytime Eggman Land... Yeah, the Eggman Land stage for the Wii version was, or for the daytime one, was pretty nice. Anyways, let's see. That should be one of the last suitcases. see a battery. I'm not gonna get it. If I die, I'll show the death sequence for Buzz. Now this is an interesting puzzle. You have to get all the lights to turn on, but if I remember right, there's a catch. You basically have to do it in 3 lights. Let's see. Or you had to dim out the lights for the other. There should be a question block. There normally is. Alright, let's see. Alright. Finally got it. I'll assume the trick is you have to get rid of all, you have to turn off all the lights for that one. I'm usually decent when it comes to video game puzzles. I've had experiences, different ones. Anyways, now to go see Ham. And we're doing it in style. And I don't mean walking. Oh. I also have to find the last luggage. I mean, yeah, and I died. Oh, there's the luggage. Let's see. Ham should be over here. And now for the final planet token I'll try to snag. Because I should be covered for the final stage. Or as far as the amount of tokens you need. Well, time to see this for one last time.
To infinity and beyond.
Prospector Showdown. This is it. Woody's finally gonna show up in the game. He's right there. See? Right there. Right there with Jesse. I mean, you know, nothing can happen. You have to deal with 3 of these guys at the same time. Granted, I do have enough health since I already died, but still, you have to deal with the black... all of these guys at once. It also doesn't really make much sense. Why? Why are all 3 of these guys showing up? Oh yeah, this, you know, I'm pretty sure this was in the movie. I mean, everyone remembers that sheriff guy, that, you know, or the desperado bandit, whatever guy. Everyone remembers Stinky Pete, you know, just hitting everyone with his, you know, earthquake shattering things. Anyways, I have enough lives to cheese this fight. Come on! I should, anyways. Don't seem to be falling over or anything. Which they should. Anyways, normally my normal strategy is to hide on the other side and just shoot down the desperado first. He obviously is being a meanie tonight. My strategy with the blacksmith is basically the same, just flee, and it was either flee or just keep... Oh! Oh no, I killed him! I think I killed a fellow toy! Good for him, anyways. Now he's down, and... you know... the stream was, you know, fun, but all things have to come to an end. Ooh, and I know how to finish it. Okay. I guess I'll go ahead after that. Show you that you actually can get dizzy after the twister, but other than that... Ugh. The boss has been defeated. Yes, I will save my game. Buzz Lightyear. Woody and the rest of the gang make it safely back to Andy's house. Woody and Buzz promise to remain best friends. And then they backstab each other later. For infinity and beyond. And sadly, they didn't include the credits song. It was pretty decent, but... otherwise, that is it. Again, I did skip out on a couple of Pizza Planet tokens. No idea if I'll go back and... who knows if the entire stream was recorded then I might go back and snag some of the ones I missed in another stream. Probably a separate video. Otherwise, that was my first platformer, more or less. Wasn't my first game. Who knows? I might try to play that one in the future. It would be a bit hilarious to be sure, but anyways, I will attempt a Sonic Mania no-save stream later this week. Not sure which day exactly, but I'll probably do it at night. Anyways, take care and enjoy yourselves.